and review this game called Fogpiercer. So this is a roguelike deck builder set around a sort of a locomotive that you control, and it's all about getting to the end of these biomes. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a very similar format to a lot of deck builders that you've played. Slay the Spire, Monster Train, a lot of those ones where it's deck building, where you have your starting character, you have your starting abilities, and then you go through lots of different sorts of nodes and instances in order to reach the Act 1 boss, Act 2 boss, Act 3 boss, and then you go right to the main menu. So let's go ahead and explain everything that you can do in the game, the potential stuff, and then I'll give you my pros and cons on the game in general. So first things first, you have 4 characters that you can choose from. You have to unlock a lot of them at the start. And so and basically the characters differ from the types of abilities they have. The more you fight in the game, the more abilities you unlock via sort of an ability where you can activate it after you do like 20 damage to enemies, and then you get a randomized card depending on the character that you have chosen. Then you can choose the different sort of locomotive head that you have, the main train. This one here depends on all the other ones you unlock as well. And it gives you max HP depending on which one you get and the different cards you can kind of get. And then you can choose your carriages. So those are basically the extra add-ons, the little extra carts that you can put on your train. So you have your main train head, where if that dies, it's game over. Then you have the other ones you can add on. You can have 2 and 3, and then even more depending on if you purchase them throughout the sort of acts or run that you do. All of those different carriages, they have different names, they have different HP pools. You can upgrade them, they can get experience, and then basically they act as how many cards you can have in your hand, as well as the different types of stuff. There's a shield card, there's a spear, a sword one, and my favorite one is the minigun one. So just like Slay the Spire and all those games, it's all about moving through different nodes to get to the very end. The story here doesn't matter that much, but I would say the overall setting and the environment's kind of cool. I mean, the game's called Fogpiercer. The whole goal is you got to go through to the end and just survive. But basically, it just reminds me of Snowpiercer because it's, you know, it's a lot of fighting, a lot of ragtag sort of bandits coming after you, big personalities, that sort of thing. But yes, it's all about getting to the end. Now, the main game, the main thing you're going to be doing is absolutely going to be fighting. So let's explain how combat works. So you got your character, you got your train head, and then you got your carriages. You start a battle, and there's different types of battles you can do, but the basic one is you are in the middle of this grid, this whole train, and it's basically you're only going straight. However, you can go forward and backwards, and this is a turn-based sort of thing where you use up all of your energy on your turn to play cards and move around and activate abilities, and then the enemies go. It's kind of intentions that way. So how it typically goes is you start the match, enemies spawn on the map, they move, and then they will show their intentions, and then you are free to take your time and do kind of anything that you need. So the first things first is you would play cards. You have different cards for different sort of action costs in your hand, 0 cost, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And you drag them on the battlefield, and they do different things. You can shield one of your cards because they're going to be attacked. You can simply use it to blast an enemy, but then it's all about using the different sort of mobility and the different special effects. For example, you can use a machine gun to attack an enemy. Then it causes them to have a destabilized status effect. The next time they take a damage, they either take more damage or they get pushed back, and you know, they kind of falter. And if they get pushed into another enemy, they will take damage, the original enemy, then the other one will take damage, and if that enemy dies, they completely go backwards and hit anything from behind them. It's a lot of stuff like that. You got pushing, you got burning, you can destroy their intentions, you can even use your train to ram into things. So yeah, like I said, you can go forward and backwards as well. That's one of your things you can do. If an enemy is in front of you or in back, and hopefully you have a shield on that specific part of your train, you can run into them, do damage, and basically there's a lot of different runs where, yeah, it's on certain trains and like certain carriages, you can combine lots of different sorts of strategies, you know, lots of shielding, and then just keep running into things. Once for really annoying enemies, knocking things back. This is very cool. You know, if you like Slay the Spire, I think you're going to really like this game because it has a lot of progression. And the very first couple of rounds or the acts you're going to play, it's not that hard. I was able to fully beat Act 1 here, and then as soon as I did, you unlock Act 2, which is Fog level 2. Things get harder, but then you also get more sort of permanent what are they called? Permanent consumables or resources that you can use to unlock more things. But yeah, there's fighting, and then there's randomized events there where, you know, you can choose things like, oh, I want a new card, I want to remove things, I want to do an extra fight, etc. Then there's different sort of shops where you can buy new cards or remove cards, transform cards. You can upgrade your carts that you have in the game right now. That increases their HP, adds more cards to the pool that you can find at that moment of time. You can also sell carts you don't need, because if one of your carts does get destroyed, as long as it's not the main head, you're going to survive. However, you will get a sort of really bad status effect card in your hand, and if you keep it in your hand without playing it, which uses up AP, you're going to take locomotive damage, and if your locomotive goes to 0, it's game over. So you really don't want any of your trains to get destroyed. So it's a matter of how many carriages do you want, and can you protect them all? Do they do more stuff? Because there is huge benefits of getting more. It adds more card draw, more different card pools, but you're also making the whole train larger for more damage to come in, and also you probably diluting the pool as well, but it's really up to you. So you got to have that nice balance of going back and forth. So you got fights, you got elite fights, you have my favorite are the ones where you have to protect or destroy different sorts of supply carts or whatever, because in this game there's also relics, just like the Spire. You have stuff where you can obtain permanently for that run, and it's like, you know, more AP if you do a certain amount of thing. If you ram an enemy, you know, movement speed increases for that turn, etc. So you got cards, you got different carriages, you have relics, etc. So as I said, you got weapons and just lots of cool movement things. So that is pretty much the game though. But why is it good? The style is really amazing. All the character art, so good. I think the graphics are great. It was a little weird, but I got used to it later, because it's just a straight top-down look. You know, you don't really see characters. It's just trains moving back and forth. But I would really recommend going into the options and turning on the grid line so you can easily see what you can do, because it's super grid-based. You're going to be doing a lot of making sure that you're moving up so they don't hit you, and enemies can, you know, hit themselves, pushing enemies back, and you're gonna really need to see all those lines as well. So yeah, this game is really good. Now, is there anything bad? I would say not really. It's exactly what I expected, except more. I came in this thing with kind of low expectations, but I came out of it being like, this is one I really want to recommend. I think it's gonna be like on the same level of Monster Train, if you guys have played that. It's not gonna be as big as Slay the Spire or anything like that, but I feel like if anyone finds this game and they try it out, I would say it's really good even at full price. But if you could find it on a sale, you're gonna get a lot of content out of this, because it's a really good puzzle game. And I don't mean a puzzle like, oh, there's only one sort of one solution. I really don't like those sort of strategy games where they make it seem like, yeah, it's a deck builder or a puzzle game or a roguelike, but then you only have like 1 or 2 turns. This is really open-ended in terms of solutions. Lots of card drawing, lots of randomness here, but you really make your own luck, that sort of thing. So your build, like a run, maybe takes like an hour to 2 hours, depending how fast you play and how well versed you are, and, you know, knowing all the enemies and stuff. But yeah, there's lots of different types of stuff you can do. So good variety build, lots of things to unlock after you play the game. After each run, you're going to get these things called spikes, and those are your permanent consumables to unlock more cards, unlock upgrades, get more characters, and then increasing the difficulty as well. So there's a lot to do here. This is a super solid game, and I highly recommend it. So definitely check this game out. I'll be leaving you guys with a boss fight that we had. If you guys want to see the full playthrough, link down below to our Let's Play channel called Mabi vs. Games 2. Also, we streamed on Twitch. Follow me in there. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. Bye. Okay, this is literally the last boss of the run, I think, and we'll see what happens. The train is carrying valuable components. Tinkerer Toy Maker. Look at that. Look at that cool style, huh? I'll be relieving you of those. I've got an arrow with your name on it. Tread carefully. Your face. What's that? Repairs. Frostbite. Suppressive fire that way. Americano heavy. 1 mana left. Dogoosh. Blizzard, stun to all enemies in range. Really? Suppressive fire. You have to do indirect damage or shield. Cancel the intent. Here it comes. Ice attack. Pedal to the metal. Oh, I need another shield. Nice. Boom! I did it. Defeat the Tinkerer. Oh, yeah. Damn, he's good. Pierce the fog wall. Alright, we beat the game. To all drivers, the fog is as thick as ever. Now what? Ascensions and things? Win a run without skipping a card reward. Sure I did, but I guess not. Look at that, you increase the rank of the things and you unlock cards. So now future runs will be a little more varied.